as a dancer, it's been drilled into my head since I was little that the most important part is the ending. So you can mess up in the beginning, you can mess up in the middle, but as long as you have a good ending, that's what people are going to remember. So in my freshman year of high school, I learned that this doesn't just apply to dance. It applies to everything.
Yes, it does.
And so my choir department every 4 years goes on this big trip to New York City. So this just happened to fall in my freshman year. So I was super excited. We've been fundraising for months. And so this trip was happening in the middle of April. So we got there and we went to some Broadway shows, ate at some different restaurants, but that's not what this story is about. This story is not about my trip to New York City. It's about what happened when I tried to get home from my trip to New York City.
Okay, got it.
So my group was lucky enough to be the first ones that got to New York, so we got a few hours in New York before everyone else showed up, and we also got a few hours after everyone else left. And so we were going to go to the airport, and we found out that our plane was delayed for thunderstorms or something. It's April. Things happen. So like, okay, that's cool. Like, we have more time in New York. So when we finally do get to the airport, and we get on our plane, and we took off, and I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was just starting to get dark outside. So we couldn't have been on the plane like 20 minutes. And the pilot comes over the loudspeaker. This is your captain speaking. We're going to be going back to New York for a precautionary landing. Don't panic. It's okay. Just precautionary, just for, safety reasons. We're like, okay. Whatever. So this plane is set up, so usually there's like 3 seats in each row, but there's only 2 seats. So over here is my mom and my sister, and then I'm over here sitting next to this other girl who's in my sister's class. Her name's Jamie. And I was like one of 2 freshmen in this group because it was all juniors, but my mom was in this group, so I was in this group. So I thought it was cool because I was hanging out with all the upperclassmen. Mm-hmm. So we get back and we land, or we haven't landed yet, so we're approaching the airport, and it's starting to rain, but I just see red lights, and we're not really sure what these lights are. But I'm still not worrying because the girl that's sitting next to me has her pilot's license, and she goes, oh, it's fine, we're probably just landing for weather reasons, not a big deal. But as we get closer and closer to the runway, we realize that the red lights are fire trucks and ambulances lining the runway. We're like, okay. So we land and we sit in this plane forever. It took forever for us to get off this plane. But we finally get back into the airport, and we're sitting there, and they finally tell us that we didn't land because of weather, but our engine was on fire. So, yeah. My sister's freaking out, because we're all exhausted at this point. We haven't slept in a week. It's all good. So we're sitting at the airport, and we probably, I don't even know how long we sat there, but we didn't end up leaving New York till 1 in the morning. They finally got us on a flight to Minneapolis, which is where our connecting flight was. We're like, okay, so we get to Minneapolis, and they're like, okay, well, you're just going to have to stay here overnight. We don't have any more flights leaving for a while. You can just stay here. But we have cots for you, so you can spend the night here. We have cots, and we're going to take you up to this quiet loft area where no one goes, and it's dark, and you can sit there. We're like, okay, this is okay. It's an adventure, whatever. So we get there, we walk halfway across the airport to our cots, which is a stack of mattresses about this thick. They were not cots. And then we have to walk halfway back across the airport to our quiet area where no one else would be. No, our quiet area is a gate where flights leave. And so, of course, Catholic school, the girls are at one, the boys are at a different one. Can't be together. No purpling. So we finally go to sleep. This is probably
I have to Google that word.
4 in the morning at this point, and so we're all exhausted, so we go to sleep. And I actually don't remember this part because I slept through it all. But my mom told me that there was a flight that left out of that gate at 7 a.m. So of course there's all these people coming, and she's like, yeah, they tried to be nice and sit around the outside of the gate so he didn't bother us on the inside, but eventually just got to, they had to come in the middle. So I'm sleeping right here on this mattress, and apparently there's someone sitting right here. There's my head. I don't remember this. I slept through the entire thing. My mom wakes me up, she goes, really? You missed But they got us a flight and they like gave us these like vouchers to get food, and we got these little like packets with toothbrushes and a shirt, which were like extra large and didn't fit anyone. It's fine.
There's
But yeah, so that's why ending is always the most memorable part.